Hey everyone, my
Mhm.
name is Mishal and you're watching Mishal's Law Series. And on today's episode, I'm very honored to have Tim Constable with us. He is a dispute resolution and mediator lawyer and a partner at Capital Law. It's an honor to have you.
Yes, good morning. Yes, good to have you. Yeah.
I will be asking him 5 short questions related to his legal career and his field, and let's see what he replies. So, my first question from you is that you are a partner at Capital Law, but you have over 30 years, you have changed 3 more firms. Which firm is the most closest to your heart, and what did you learn from that firm?
Well, I think I learned from all of them. I went to Exeter, did a law degree, and then finished my law degree in 1989, and I immediately started as a paralegal. Although in those days we were called outdoor clerks, I was started as an outdoor clerk at a one-person law firm in northwest London, and stayed at that firm for about 3 years as a paralegal. Then went to law school. Then did my training contract at a 16 partner firm in just outside London, and stayed there for 15 years, and became a partner at that firm. Then I went to a firm in Fleet Street in the city, and stayed at that firm for 7 years. And we were then bought by Dentons, biggest law firm in the world, and stayed there for about 8 years. And then I went to a smaller firm in the city, stayed there for 3 years, and then finally, after all of that, I am now at Capital Law, as you say. So that's that's quite a few firms, but that's a 37-year career. So you should expect that you might move around.
Yeah.
What have I learned from each of them? Well, from the very first firm, I learnt gratitude. I think gratitude for giving me a chance, and an opportunity. And I learnt the importance of being hungry for
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
and being hungry for opportunities. And I learnt that the only way to get opportunities is to be there in the first place. So exactly the sort of thing you're doing,
Yeah.
reaching out for people, making friends, as many friends as you can in the industry, and that opens doors. So that's what I learnt from the first firm. Second firm, I learnt the importance of having an entrepreneurial spirit in terms of law. It is the practice of law, but it's also a business. And I learnt the importance of speed and agility. In the next firm, in the city, I learnt the importance of forensic attention to detail and
Yeah.
mastery of any particular discipline. In that case, it was professional negligence law. And the more you master a particular subject, the more interesting it becomes.
Yeah.
Then at Dentons, I learnt the importance of the fact that law is international,
Yeah.
and every country has very similar laws,
Yeah.
which are based on fairness, justice,
Yeah.
common sense,
Yeah.
trying to do the best for the population.
Yeah.
All countries have the same laws in that respect, but there is little differences in every country because of the culture, because of
Yeah.
the history. And working in a large international law firm gave me access to about 30 or 40 different countries in which I practiced, or was involved in those
Yeah.
countries, all of which with slightly different cultures, and all of which you tended to learn a great deal. There's a book I've got. Here. How to negotiate anything with anyone, anywhere around the world.
Oh, that's amazing. Right?
Yeah,
Every lawyer should have this.
Absolutely, this is a great book. A great book. It's by Frank at Cuff, and it just tells you everything you need to know about resolving disputes anywhere around the world. And in the firm before last, I learned the value of something not associated with business. I'm not quite thinking the ethic, because all law firms are ethical, but so for example, there's a thing called B Corporation. And it's becoming an increasingly wide thing. And that last law firm was a B Corporation. And I learned all about the power of the law in doing good for the world, and ethicality. And in my most recent law firm, I am learning how to put all of that together, all of that history together in a new law firm, and to apply everything I've learned in the last 37 years to a new structure and a new and a bright new regime, and it's very exciting. So that's a long answer to your question.
That's an incredible journey, and that's very, very, very inspiring journey as well. My second question from you is, you have done nearly 200 mediations with 90% success rate. What is that one myth that you wish your client didn't believe in related to mediation?
There's a lot of myths about mediation, and it works slightly differently in many different countries, but the gist of it is you've got at least two parties who have a difference of opinion, a grave difference of opinion regarding the law, and it may be in court or it's just about to end up in court. Courts are very, and this applies around the world, courts are gambling dens. Courts aren't really, they are a bit, but quite often courts aren't centres for the administration of justice, and this is for arbitration as well. Courts are very expensive and time-consuming and lengthy gambling dens. Quite often, the most a client might expect to get in terms of prospects of success in any court case, about 70%, best of cases. That means even in the best of cases, there's a 30% chance you are going to lose your case. And put it another way, it's only 20% off flipping a coin. Now, who in their right minds might choose to spend a lot of money gambling when it is within your power, when it is within your control to sort the dispute out for yourself? You have the power, and that's and both parties have the power to resolve disputes if you can. In England, the vast majority of cases settle eventually, by one way or another. Some might settle early on, others might settle at the door of the court, but there are ways of accelerating that settlement, and one of the best ways is the process of mediation. The process of mediation is you bring the two parties to a without prejudice, which means that nothing that is said will be taken down and used in evidence in a court. It enables the parties to speak frankly with each other. That's the first part. Second part is it's confidential. Confidential. Nothing that is said in the building it gets out to it, and and then you have it's a meeting, basically, meeting that
Yeah,
takes place during
yeah,
the course of the day, shared by a mediator who's an
yeah,
independent, neutral
yeah,
person. Myth number one: mediator is not there to judge. That's the
yeah,
number one myth that
yeah,
clients that lay clients have, or people who haven't been involved in mediation have, that a mediator is some kind of judge. Mediator is not a
yeah,
judge. A mediator is a shuttle diplomat whose job is to go from one room to another,
yeah,
uh, genuine getting dialogue
yeah,
going, exploring some issues, and at the end of the day, passing on offers. The 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 process which was ongoing with Pakistan
yeah,
the US
yeah,
and Iran, that was a
yeah,
mediation process.
yeah, definitely, yeah,
So it applies, and that's one of the 10% or
yeah,
20% that didn't succeed. But
yeah,
so far,
yeah, yeah,
it's an ongoing process. So it applies all over the world, and it's the official statistic for commercial mediation
yeah,
is from an organisation called the Centre for Dispute Resolution, and it provides every year a success rate percentage, and it's always just about over
yeah,
80%. I
yeah,
happen to be slightly over that just because of the nature of the cases that I do,
yeah,
but it's got a very good chance of settling it. And if you settle a case, imagine the peace dividend. Imagine waking up the next morning to no more dispute, and
yeah, that feeling
that
is
is worth,
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. That's worth a huge amount of money
yeah, yeah,
and value.
yeah,
So I can't recommend it enough. The other myth about mediation is that there are some cases that can't be mediated. I don't believe
yeah,
that. I think anything can be mediated
definitely,
because at the end of the day, it's just a dispute, and if you
yeah,
can't resolve it, then somebody else will.
definitely.
So yeah, that's my answer to that.
That was incredible. I think mediation is basically just resolving everything out in more smoother manner and like making peace between the two parties and everything is sorted. So that's great. My third question from you is you on 20th July wrote about Saxon Vert versus Costa Supreme Court. Would you like to talk about it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Um, well, the um, look, the principal thing about that is, first of all, it's a Supreme Court decision on what goes on in the boardroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're acting in commercial law, what happens in the boardroom it can often play a huge role in eventual disputes. And a lot of my clients are directors, and a lot of them are concerned about what duties that they may have. And in this case, uh, the the director in question was acting, certainly in his view,
Yeah.
in good faith, because he disagreed with the rest of the board on the strategy. I'm
Yeah.
sure he genuinely disagreed with it,
Yeah.
um, and uh, and that is good faith. That is
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But what happened in this case was that director chose not to be frank, not to be candid with the board in respect of his disagreements, and he went off on his own confident, on his own path, which he kept confidential.
Yeah.
And it is that secrecy and lack of candor
Yeah.
which the Supreme Court decided should not should was impermissible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think my main takeaway from that important decision is that if you do have a disagreement with your board, do not keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Bring it to the
Definitely.
boardroom table.
Yeah. You are completely right, and I completely agree. My first question from you, my first question from you is that you've argued cases around England, Scotland, and Ireland. So, what do you think is the difference between all of those jurisdictions? What is that difference that you have personally noticed that this is different from one place to another?
Yeah. All common law jurisdictions, which means that the law evolves through judge decided cases, and that is as opposed to civil or Roman law jurisdictions, which let's say half and half of the world is common law, half of the world is civil law, and civil law jurisdictions decide on regulatory decree. In terms of England, Scotland, Ireland, I mean, I think there is a huge amount to learn from the fact that Scotland does not have disclosure. Or it's a very, very circumscribed disclosure. I think emails and all the other methods of electronic communication, written communication, have defeated the purpose of civil procedure disclosure. It's the game is no longer worth the candle. In terms of fighting a battle, a bit like King Canute trying to stop the waves coming in. It is now a monster that cannot be constrained by the old rules of disclosure, and I think that the Scottish jurisdiction generally has it right. Over and above the English jurisdiction. I think disclosure should be largely abolished and just replaced with this is in England, obviously just replaced with if you have the documents to prove your case or prove your defence, then all well and good. Disclose those documents to prove your case or your defence. If you don't have those documents, then what are you doing pursuing a claim or a defence anyway? But if you really need documents from the other side, then you make an application, a specific application for disclosure. And if you win or you lose, then there's a costs element involved in that. That's what I do. Scotland is right. England is wrong. In terms of that, more generally, I think that we do have a lot to learn from other jurisdictions, and they from us. And I don't think enough of that actually happens. So I don't criticize any apart from the disclosure point. I don't criticize any one of the Irish and Scottish. I think there's as I say, there's a lot to learn from all of them. So that's my brief answer to that.
That's amazing. As a trustee of Edirisa UK, I'm sorry, how has that shaped you in your practicing law? Because I'm really, really, really inspired by how you are actually being in a humanitarian behavior towards this being a trustee. How has that shaped you?
Yes. Well, Edirisa is a charity which runs education facilities and medical facilities in South Uganda. In a beautiful part of the world, near the city of Kabale, and an amazing lake called Lake Bunyonyi. And we operate in that area of the world. I'm a trustee, and the founder and organizer of the charity is an amazing lady called Sheila Windridge, MBE, who happens to be out there at the moment. And I think I mean the law's been very good to me over a 37-year career. And it's a fascinating job. Which is a profession to which can be mastered.
Yeah.
However, that's not all of it. I think that doing good in the world is an essential, equally essential part
Yeah,
of
definitely.
practicing the law.
Yeah.
And we have an opportunity to do
Yeah.
that. I like to do it by advocating the cause of peace
Yeah.
throughout the world, and I hope that my involvement in a very worthwhile charity in a very poor part of the world helps me do some good.
Yeah. That is an incredible job, and I wish you the best for it as well. My last question from you is, what is that one piece of advice that you would like to give all the younger lawyers who are entering this legal profession?
Yeah. So when I started, I didn't even want to be a lawyer. Actually, I wanted to be an actor, but anyway, kind of got sucked into it. But
Yeah.
uh, I thought then, I thought that my career would probably go nowhere.
Yeah.
Um, but I met an amazing man called Michael Duggan, um, who's now sadly died, but rest in peace, Michael. But anyway, I met him, and he inspired me with a fascination for the application of the law. In this case, fighting court cases,
Yeah.
and uh, uh, and moreover, he introduced me to opportunities. So, as I said earlier, it's if you are, I mean, it's tough. It's tough
Yeah.
for your generation. It's tough because of AI. It's tough
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people coming out with very equivalent
Yeah.
degree qualifications, and it's a big pool for a limited amount of jobs.
Yeah.
But if you're determined to do it, don't give up.
Yeah.
Um, but be realistic.
Yeah.
Uh, but you've got to get out there. There's no
Yeah.
point just having a CV, doing the bits and pieces of internship and work experience. You've got to get to meet people. You've got to go to things, and you've got
Yeah.
to introduce yourself. You've got to summon up the courage to introduce yourself to strangers.
Yeah.
But everyone in the law was in your position. Everyone knows what it's like. And so you'd be surprised. Get on LinkedIn. Get as
Yeah.
many different connections as you can on LinkedIn. You'll find that most people, if you connect with people, you'll find that most people will connect with you. That includes me. I'm connecting with
Yeah.
people all the time. Get in touch with me on LinkedIn, and
Yeah.
I will certainly have you as a connection. Um, and keep learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you've finished your law degree and your SQE
Yeah.
and law school and all the rest of it, you will never stop learning. I do. I learn new
Definitely.
things still every day. So
Yeah.
never stop learning, and don't 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 specialize too quickly, or don't aim to specialize too quickly. Have an approximate idea, but you've got no idea
Yeah.
the where the law profession is going to take you.
Yeah.
And there's a movie which is a personal favorite of mine, and it's called Dr. Zhivago.
Okay.
It's from a long time ago, but
Yeah.
it's from a famous Russian novel,
Yeah.
and the eponymous hero, Dr. Yuri Zhivago, just at the end of the First World War, and when the Russian Civil War was raging, Dr. Yuri Zhivago said to his commissar, he said, "Well, the war's over. What do I do now?" And the commissar said, "You must adapt." So my
Yeah.
biggest piece of advice to everyone in the
Yeah.
law, and particularly people at your stage, is you must adapt.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This was a great advice, and it was an honor to have you with on Mishal's Law series. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. It's a great job you do, and you're showing
Thank
all
you
the
so much.
qualities that I look for in a future great lawyer.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so the interview is ended. Thank you so much for the interview. It means actually a lot to me for me to actually interview you. Are an
Yes.
incredible person. I went through all of your education. I went through where you work to what have you done, and even those cases where when I was looking to a Texan versus Book case, I read your reading. I read the date. You are an incredible person, someone I genuinely look up to, and personally, even before I'm like planning to shift to the UK, when I look up to you as a person, I want to shadow in my future. It will be definitely someone like you. I'm genuinely very, very grateful.
Stay in touch.
Yeah,
I'm sure our careers will cross in the future, and
definitely.
I think you will go far.
Thank you so much. Thank
All
you so
right.
much for your time.
Thanks, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.